welcome here, Melissa. Glad to be talking with you today. So we've been working together now for a little bit under a year, and just wanted to get your inputs as far as where things were at kind of before you got started with the coaching program and some of the kind of big wins and transformation that's happened. Can you share a bit about where things were at with the business and the reason that you were seeking out other coaches to help you with your business?
Yeah, so I'm new to project management and construction, and I was working as a project engineer and then was hired by a new company as a project manager, small company doing large remodels. And I actually got a degree from UCLA in construction management, but I didn't actually feel like it equipped me to run jobs and to estimate well. Like we learned takeoffs, and we learned where there was a foundation, but actually to hit the ground running with this, I wasn't prepared. And so, from an organizational standpoint and from an estimating standpoint, I felt like I needed some help. So
Mhm.
that's when I started looking for a coach.
So you were starting a new business, and your partner Lonnie has many years of experience. Can you maybe describe how you got the business up and running, and what specifically you felt you needed help with to get things moving in the right direction?
Right. So, yeah, it's a unique situation. So, I am in business with my love, my partner. So, basically, we kind of had to, we started, he already had a license he wasn't really using. And so, he already has another business that they do ground ups. They already have a project manager, and we wanted to work together for a couple of reasons. One, we enjoy working together, and two, was getting my certification. And now I am certified as a building biologist for new construction, meaning we build homes that are like beyond green. So low toxicity, moisture control, low EMF. So we wanted to have a business that where we could pull that piece in. So I kind of had to create the business from the ground up,
Hmm.
minus already having the business license. So I needed coaching in that regard. And I also needed coaching in estimating and takeoffs and whatnot. And
Yeah.
I can't remember what your original question was. I'm not sure if I covered it.
Yeah, no, that definitely covers it. That's good. I wanted to just kind of paint the picture of how, like, where you guys started, because when we started our coaching today, you have a strong professional background and you have the business license, and there's a construction background there, but the business was pretty much from scratch and getting things going for new from the first time. So there was kind of a lot of work with getting those really key systems in place and working through it, estimating being one of the first ones that we worked on. Now, from what I understand, you did take a look at a whole bunch of different coaches. What were kind of the concerns with like reaching out and getting help with the business, and why did you choose to go with like Rapid Result Creators and myself over some of the other options out there?
I did maybe I talked to a couple of other people, and I guess I just, well, I always go with my intuition. I mean, that's the truth. I sorry, but like the truth is I go with my
That's
intuition.
great. Hmm.
And it's been quite a while. So to be honest with you, I can't recall exactly why I chose you,
Yeah.
but I know that it was likely part intuition and part what you how you presented what you offer. Because at that point, to go back to your question, at that point we were working on a job, and the construction software that I was using ended up being really not good. I got kind of probably like a lower priced construction software program because we didn't really need much, but it was full of flaws, and so there were a lot of errors and stuff. So I ended up
Yeah.
taking everything off of that and putting it onto an Excel spreadsheet and then working off of that. So by the time I got to you, I'm like, and so you were the one who you gave me construction software ideas. Like these are a few companies that I like, and I ended up going with one of them, and I've been really happy with them. So that's kind of where it started with us. But I don't know, I think when I did finally choose you, we really hit the ground running to the point where I was like, oh boy, which is good because I'm actually a board certified health and wellness coach. So coaching is something that I'm familiar with, and setting short term goals and long term goals is something I'm familiar with, and accountability. And so for me, accountability was a huge piece in this because I am trying to start this business and keep this job running, but also to refine it and to make it better and more profitable and so on. And I needed to be accountable for this work. So with meeting every 2 weeks, it kind of pushed me to go, oh, I got to turn my homework in. One of the things I like that you have is the dashboard. So I could just save the dashboard and always have access to it, which allowed me to access our, our running sheet of what we were working on and all the files, and it kind of has everything there. It's a lot and it's also very thoughtful. So I really appreciated that. So I know I made a really good decision in choosing you. I know I made the best decision in choosing you. And I think a big part of that is just your thoroughness and your understanding of computers. I have a fairly good understanding. There's much I can do, but you take it a step further, which I really appreciate because I have had to consult with you a few times and take Derek on I'm lost here.
Yeah, sometimes the coaching does take on a bit of tech support for sure. It can get overwhelming with all the different technologies or softwares and trying to make things work together. And everyone has their own little quirks and things like that. But yeah, it's been a wonderful experience working together, definitely. And we designed our whole program around what you said, so it's good to get that feedback. We have try to make things as simple as possible. There's a lot in the program, so trying to make it like a good design essentially to keep it as simple as possible, have everything in one place as far as access and just think through like we move fast but in a logical sort of order and keep things on track. And then of course, as you mentioned, the accountability to make sure that we're not just talking a bunch and things kind of just get pushed to the 1 week 1 month after another, but we're actually getting things done and implementing proper steps. And so you mentioned a lot there. What do you feel is like now looking back, some of the sort of the biggest wins as far as things we implemented, or even maybe some of the mindsets or skills that you've learned working together?
If I had to use one word, it would be structure. And I think that's probably where people fail in this is having a structure, especially in contracting in this type of work, because there's so many things to keep track of. And if you don't have structure and if you're not organized, um, there's going to be issues down the line. And then you're really not going to understand your profitability if you're not keeping track of things really well. So I would say that structure, yeah, is probably one of the things that I gained the most. And then having access to so many spreadsheets, I didn't have to create them all on my own. And some of them I don't need, but a lot of them I've used, and you offer your spreadsheets for me to copy and recreate into with our logo and
Mhm.
information, and then I can of course go back and change things. But that saves time, which saves money. I love your I can't remember what you call it, but your profit estimating sheet. What's it called when you put in the number and it calculates it for you for your to put into your different bank accounts?
Oh yes, the like allocation, revenue,
Yeah.
like business
So the
allocation.
allocation
Yeah. Mhm.
sheet, it's really helpful because we like to keep a certain amount of money in our operating account.
Mhm.
And then whatever's left over, I can put it into your sheet and it just calculates, if you put $50,000 in there, it calculates exactly how much you put in your tax account, which is another thing I actually really appreciated is you helping us kind of realize and understand like different accounts. So having a tax account and having a profit account and an owner's share essentially account and a operating expense account and making sure you're allocating into the proper accounts. That was helpful. But I would say structure was pretty helpful. Yeah.
Definitely. Oh, that's fantastic. And yeah, the revenue allocation, a little bit of setup involved with different accounts and spreadsheet and whatnot, but really once you have used it a bit, it's a pretty simple system and it just helps you keep your cash flow and bank accounts, operating the way that they should be. And then what you mentioned about structure is huge. I think that's where a lot of contractors kind of go off to the wayside of they build out systems, they get software and they make progress, but it's all a little haphazard and it's not organized as like a whole for the entire business for one function to move into the next. So really super important. Now for contractors out there that are thinking of getting help, they're feeling overwhelmed, maybe stuck, what would be your advice for them?
I would say that it's really good to take a step back from your business and figure out what's not working. And if it's the organizational piece, I think that's where you come in and that's where you're really helpful because you can kind of start with someone, you can meet someone where they're at and start from there because your program is kind of set up that way where you can skip modules or you can kind of, there is a sequence, but you can also help somebody where they're at in the moment to get on their feet again and to get like reorganized or rather organized likely so that they can move forward with the next steps in organizational and being organized. So we are a referral based business only. We don't do any advertising. Our last client has recommended us to probably 4 people. And she's basically like, if you don't hire them, you're an idiot. The reason that she says that is not only because we're kind and we show up and we do what we say we're going to do, but it's because we're organized. And when we give them a schedule, we start the project, we say, this is a schedule. Obviously, the schedule changes, but
Mhm.
we always give our clients a schedule and we meet that schedule, meet that deadline. We're stacking trades. We're always looking at the schedule, figuring out how we can get people in and make this, do this, and to stay positive. So I think for contractors, kind of like new contractors or contractors trying to like figure out how to do better, being organized is so important. And the clients will love you in the end. I mean, it's our kind of goal for our clients to really like they're so happy that they hired us. It doesn't happen that often. You want to leave a job and your clients to be like, heck yeah, I'll refer you all day long.
Yeah,
And you can't do that if you're not organized.
wonderful, well said. And yeah, a testament to being professional with organization in your company. As you mentioned, like it's more than just wanting to do good work for your client. It's really about creating an experience and having a business that operates really well so that they're more than happy to refer you afterwards. And I know you guys have a strong referral mechanisms in your business where clients are just ecstatic, love the work, love you guys, and are more than happy to refer you to the next person that needs some remodeling services or what have you. So very cool. And then we'll just touch on a little bit, but you guys also I think you found your niche as far as just your style and your business, but also with the building biology, you're really providing something unique to the marketplace. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I know it's one of your passions.
Yeah. Yeah. So homes are can be kind of a toxic soup, and a lot of people aren't really aware of that. And a lot of people get sick from their homes. I think it's 70% of homes have mold in them, and some people are very reactive to that. And so I myself am reactive to that, which is what got me into this field and health coaching and nutrition and there are other options. So especially, we're in California, north of the big fires in the Palisades, and when those homes burnt, all that toxic waste, a lot of it went out into the ocean. To build back homes better is to build mass wall construction. So we're not building homes with, tons of stick framed homes with papered products on in the walls, which inevitably will mold if you don't have an airtight home. So we will build homes with mass wall construction. We'll also build stick frame homes, but we're very mindful of the materials that we use. So choosing mineral based paints, even no VOC paints have plastic in them. So choosing products like using American clay on the walls that's hygroscopic, so it can take in moisture vapor and then release it, and creating an environment with creating the indoor environment with low electromagnetic field, so hardwiring possible, so not having a Wi-Fi on all the time, being able to have a switch to turn off the Wi-Fi or even turn off some of your electrical outlets. So That's what we do. So we're really kind of traditional builders bringing in these elements. And then, our goal is really to build building biology homes that they're legacy homes. So you go to Europe, those homes are built with mass wall construction and they last forever. And so those are the types of homes we'd ultimately like to build.
Wonderful. Yes, so important, and the things a lot of people don't really know about or don't understand. So commend you for the great work you're doing and all the happy clients that you have and all the effort you've put into to really in a short period of time build out the systems in your business, provide wonderful experience, and really dial things in. So really appreciate working with you, Melissa, and you sharing your experience today.
Yeah, thanks, Derek. It's been great working with you as well.